What's going on, guys? It's Mike for Sim Racing 604 and welcome to my second Hotlap challenge. A lot of you guys have been anxiously awaiting this one. I got a good response on my last Hotlap video, so thank you so much for your support. And this will not be the last one either. I have fun making these and it's a good way to engage with everyone out there. Last time though, it was something kind of abstract. We were in Automobilista 2 and running a car that most of you had probably never heard of at a track. A lot of you didn't know. This one, we're going to make things a lot more mainstream. The sim is Assetto Corsa, the car is the Porsche 911 RSR from 2017, and the track is Spa, of course. So what's going to happen here, guys, I will show you my lap and my time and then break down the lap and at half speed for those of you who are looking for some pointers. The conditions are set to ideal. I just went into Hotlap mode in Content Manager and set my conditions to ideal. As far as setup, I borrowed a setup actually as a base. I will link to the video I borrowed from In that video, he runs a 214, which is way faster than me. So if you want some tips from a real hot lapper, go to that video and just study his lines. Those are far better than my own. But I was able to post a decent time, so I will break that down in just a second. So have fun with it, guys. This won't be the last. I'll try and do another one probably Monday or Tuesday to keep things going, and probably switch it up and maybe do something in Project Cars 2 or something in Race Room. Haven't quite decided yet. So let's go ahead and look at the onboard from my hot lap. Please be sure to post your times below. I love seeing them. Thank you guys for watching, and stick around for a description if you're looking for some pointers. Alright guys, so at half speed here, coming up to finish your previous lap, we're coming into the chicane, and be sure to, I kind of missed it here, I cut too early, but this is fine, but then hang a little bit more to the right to try and set up to really blast out of the chicane to come down the start-finish straight. As soon as the wheels get lined up down the track, hit it full throttle, and you're gonna just slowly drift to the left along this start-finish straight, crossing the start-finish line right now to reset the time. And we're looking for the 100 mark on our left. You can see the 150 clearly. 100 mark is over on the far wall. As soon as your nose crosses that 100 line, you want to start thinking about braking down all the way to first gear, hugging inside here. I missed the apex, but you see how close I was there, and then a little bit of oversteer on the exit. Be mindful of that oversteer. I'm throwing away a lot of time by pushing the car too hard there. So even with the traction control set at 6, I was still oversteering, so just be mindful of that on the exit of the first corner there. Staying pretty neutral here, and just drifting our way to the right slightly, and then when it's time, about the 75, cut in hard. Eau Rouge Radillon, obviously one of the most famous corners in the world. No need to lift here in the RSR. You can easily make it around at full throttle. Do not lift. You got this. And we're set up. That DRS line, we want to be crossing the DRS line at about the 30-second mark of our lap. That tells us we're on pace for 218. Staying left here up the Kemmel Straight, no problem. We're going to look for the curbing starting on our left. As soon as the nose crosses the start of the curbing, we're going to go on the brakes pretty hard. Just be mindful, they will lock up, so just take it real easy here as you need to get the car slowed without locking up. Through Les Combes, if you saw it at full speed, I threw away a ton of time here. My lines weren't good. I was overdriving the car. Be sure to err slightly more on the cautious side when going through Les Combes. I threw away probably a half second here, so just be mindful of that. I was overdriving the car. And we go down the hill here, setting up for the hard right-hander. This is a full 180-degree turn. It doesn't seem it, but it is. Curbing on the left there marks the start of the braking zone for me. I go down into second gear, following in the nicely rubbered in line all the way around this corner. As soon as possible, start building on that throttle there. You can see my pedals in the lower right there. As soon as I passed the apex, I was building, then immediately to the right, and then back left through the unnamed corner here. This is a really tough corner for me. I really struggled with this in all cars, and I struggled with it on the RSR. I wasn't on the power nearly as early as I would have liked to. Crossing this Cuno Simulazione sign at about the 110 mark to know we're on pace, and the curbing on the right, when you get halfway down this curbing, braking hard, down one gear, try and clip the apex on the left there, and then back on the power, building that power. And as soon as possible, we are full throttle for the second part of Pouin, or double gauche as it's known in game. And then we're going to work our way over to the left here, and before the curbing starts on the left, we're going to brake. This is a tough braking zone. If you miss it even slightly, the car is just going to go flying out on you. I don't know if it's the camber of the corner or what, but a very tough corner, so I like to brake a little bit before the curbing starts on your left. And then we go through this right-hander, then a left-hander, and same thing. As soon as we can, start building that power, building, and then full throttle and making our way into this slower right-hander here, braking just at the curbing. Just when the nose gets to the curbing on the left, we're going to brake down into second gear. That curb is pretty high, so it can unsettle the car, but I got lucky there. And up into fourth gear, and rounding this one, missed the apex here, but a little bit of throttle modulation to make sure we get around this corner. I was understeering like crazy, but a little bit of throttle modulation, and I made it around there at probably 90 to 95% throttle. And then we come down this long, not a straightaway, but a long flat out section, Blanchiment. So keep it pinned here, keep it all the way down, and try and fade out nice and wide here. We want to straighten this left-hander. This left-hander can be dangerous if you're not wide enough on your entry. So try and straighten this corner, clip the apex, keep it flat, do not lift. You're going to be flat out here again, looking for a white line that we're going to cross just past the Kuno sign. As soon as four tires are across that white line, you start braking, and again, really being careful not to lock up the tires, and into the chicane for the final time. So, yeah, it's a typical chicane, making our way around this left-hander here and start building the throttle, and try not to get too much curb on the right there, and then just keep the wheels straight and pin it for that start-finish line, and we are going to cross at 218.3.